Ordinary people walk among us every single day. They pass us on crowded streets, wait behind us in line at the grocery store, and sit beside us on buses. At first glance, their lives may seem unremarkable, woven into the routine tapestry of daily existence. Yet, hidden behind the familiar faces and gentle smiles are stories of quiet determination, grit, and the kind of courage that shapes destinies. The most extraordinary achievements often begin with the simplest of origins, a single decision to step forward, to try, to refuse to give in to despair or limitation. Imagine a young woman named Lan, born and raised in a small village nestled between emerald rice fields and winding rivers. Her life, like that of many in her village, revolved around the rhythms of the land. Each day started before dawn, with the crowing of roosters and the gentle hush of morning dew. By all accounts, her path seemed set: finish school, help her family, and perhaps one day have a family of her own. But Lan harbored dreams that reached far beyond the horizon she saw each morning. She wanted to bring change, to learn, to explore the world beyond the village borders. Her journey began in the most ordinary of ways. One evening, after a long day in the fields, Lan sat with an old, battered book she had borrowed from the village teacher. The book was about science, a world of wonders she had never imagined. Fascinated, she spent countless nights reading by the flickering light of an oil lamp, her imagination ignited with every page. Her curiosity soon grew into a passion. She wanted to understand, to discover, to experiment. But resources were scarce, and opportunities even scarcer. Still, Lan did not give up. She wrote letters to organizations in the city, asking for old textbooks and laboratory supplies. Most went unanswered, but one day, a package arrived containing a few worn-out science books and a set of basic chemistry tools. That small act of generosity became the spark that fueled her journey. With determination, Lan built a makeshift laboratory in the back of her family's house, using recycled bottles and improvised materials. She began conducting simple experiments, documenting her findings, and teaching local children the wonders of science. News of her efforts spread, and soon more children joined her evening classes. The village, once indifferent to the importance of education, began to see the difference Lan was making. Children who once saw school as a mere obligation now flocked to her lessons, eager to learn and explore. Parents took pride in their children's newfound enthusiasm, and the local school asked Lan to help improve their science curriculum. But the journey was not without hardship. There were times when the crops failed, and Lan had to balance her passion for teaching with the pressing needs of her family. There were moments of doubt, when the challenges seemed insurmountable, and when the weight of expectation pressed heavily on her shoulders. Yet each time she saw a child's eyes light up with understanding, she found renewed strength. Years passed. Lan's small classroom grew into a community learning center, attracting attention from educators in the city. She was invited to attend teacher training workshops, where she learned new methods and brought them back to her village. With each new skill, she empowered not only herself, but also the entire community. The village school's performance improved, and some of her students won scholarships to study in the city, breaking the cycle of limited opportunities. Lan's story is not unique in its beginnings. Every corner of the world holds similar tales of people who, armed with nothing but a dream and a willingness to work, create ripples that grow into waves of change. Their achievements are not always marked by grand gestures or public acclaim. Sometimes, the most significant victories are quiet. A child who learns to read, a neighbor who finds hope, a community that discovers its own potential. Consider, too, the story of Min, an office worker in the bustling heart of the city. For years, Min's days followed a predictable rhythm. He rode the same bus, sat at the same desk, and returned to the same small apartment each night. Yet, beneath the surface, Min was quietly waging his own battle. After losing a friend to illness, he became determined to raise awareness about health issues in his community. He started small, speaking to colleagues, organizing health screenings at his office and volunteering at local clinics on weekends. His efforts grew, step by step, as more people joined his cause. Through persistence and compassion, Min helped hundreds of people access medical care they might otherwise have missed. He saw firsthand how a few hours of volunteering could change a life, how a simple conversation could save one. Min's story, like Lan's, is a testament to the power of ordinary people to do extraordinary things, not by seeking glory but by refusing to ignore the needs around them. What unites these stories is not just courage, but the willingness to act, to step forward, even when the way is uncertain, to persevere, even when progress comes slowly. Ordinary people achieve the extraordinary by believing that their actions matter, no matter how small. Each act of kindness, each moment of learning, each seed of hope planted in difficult soil, these are the foundations of true greatness. In a world that often celebrates the spectacular, it is important to remember that heroism does not always come with applause. Sometimes, it is found in the quiet persistence of a mother who works 2 jobs so her children can go to school, or in the steady hands of a volunteer who spends his evenings teaching someone to read. Every person holds within them the capacity for greatness, waiting to be awakened by purpose and passion. So, as you walk through your own life, remember the stories of Lan, Min, and countless others. Let them remind you that the power to make a difference is not reserved for a chosen few. It lies within each of us, in the choices we make, the kindness we share, and the dreams we dare to pursue. The extraordinary is born from the ordinary, one step, one decision, one act at a time. If you believe in yourself, remain steadfast in the face of challenges, and take action with an open heart. You too can become the author of an extraordinary story.